I could still go for a little bit. Let's see about the next couple floor sets. So the next few bits are even easier. It was already not very difficult, but it will actually become less difficult for a little bit. Something about the way the mobs scale in this dungeon over the course of the thing makes it so that, like, at certain points you just become, like, I don't know, drastically more powerful. The exception here is now mimics are actually going to be, like, getting very rapidly, like, more spooky compared to what they were on the previous floor set. Frog Patrol. So I will still be attempting all the way up to floor 100. I will still be attempting to fully explore every floor, kill every single enemy, including any respawns I run across. And if I do see luring traps, if I have an opportunity, I will absolutely trigger them and kill all the enemies. I'm blinded. That means sometimes my things miss. I hate it. Like that. I hate it. Okay. Honestly, that's not even worth the time running back here. Which means, once again, I just did the thing where I fucking burned a sprint for no reason. Classic. I've got to stop doing that. That's so bad for time. There's no other enemies back there. Sometimes there's some enemies having a little hidey-hide back behind those things. I missed, God. I also ran past the coffer. Okay. 2 floors down. I can't open this yet until my HP is above 70%. Very important. Alright. I did not do the stupid thing. Good job, me. I've already hit the trap in that room, so there's no more trap there. This small floor. Oh, this floor sucks. I have to find a respawn in order to even get out. God. I hate floors like this. Okay. I have affluenced this floor so that I can get more chests. Get some of my palms back that I spent on the previous set. Damage down. That's fine. Fortune, sure, yeah. Silver coffer. Didn't explode. Did explode. Classic. That's 2 flights already. That's a little concerning. If I get a 3rd and 4th, then I have to skip a chest because, again, I don't want to use flights because they'll cost me points by reducing the number of enemies that appear on the next floor. Did get some stuff back from that affluence, but it was a small floor, so honestly that was not as many things as I was kind of hoping for. And the fortune got me nothing, surprising nobody. I only killed like 3 enemies. Ow. Go away. Nope. Didn't drop anything. Yes, good. Put my shield on the good old 2-minute cooldown. You'll love to see it. There is a respawn back there. I'm obscenely ahead on time again, so I'll go ahead and go back and get him. Ah, walls. Okay. At some point, it will start actually having enemies and rooms on these floors. No knockbacks, whatever. That's treasure room. Fun. Look at all these fucking palace idols. God, I hate these things. Oh God, I hate these things too. What's up, Andros? Let's not go read that. Well, I'm glad I could provide that experience for you. I've been playing this game for 6-ish years now, but I've never really put time into Palace of the Dead seriously. I wanted to. When I found out that it existed and what it was, gotta leave that behind. It sounded super awesome, and I was like, oh, let's go give this a try. Solo, because this is the sort of content that appeals to me specifically as solo content. I'm not really super interested in doing it with other people. At least not like the way that it ends up kind of playing as group content, which is kind of like a Zerg. And that never really seemed to appeal to me. And I really wanted it to be like solo content. But it's really hard to start doing that because, like, what if you don't have Ether Pool? And the answer is everything sucks and you're sad and you cry. But eventually I finally had enough Ether Pool, and also now I have Pictomancer, a job that is so obscenely powerful that even I am just like, there's no problem dealing with anything in Palace of Dead. And I also have a friend, 2 friends actually, now that I think about it, who, maybe 3? I don't remember if my other friend has done all 3, but I have 2 friends who have all 3 solo titles. And I got to like watch bits and pieces of that and learn from them, so I have a much better kind of understanding of what I'm trying to accomplish here. Oh my god. I get it, game. Please understand, you do not need to give me purities. Mimics will not survive more than like 2 seconds. Cool floor. Yo, I got the I got the rare spot. Let's go. The fortune at the end of the floor, that's never not funny. Solo Orthos. Yeah, I also, like, that was the other time where, so, like, the first time I played Palace of the Dead was, like, 2019, like, when I was first really going through the MSQ and stuff. And it kind of just immediately appealed to me, and I tried it, and I was like, wow, this is, like, impossible, and I didn't know anything about the game. I was very bad, so I was not pretty much doomed to failure. Then the subsequent time was like, oh, you know, like, EO is coming out, and there's a lot of hype around that, and, like, one of my other friends, one of the couple who has all 3 solo titles, was also really excited about it. So, you know, he jumped into it, and then I was like, oh yeah, like I'll jump into it, it'll be cool. And EO just... I still don't like EO. Like, I have a file that is at floor 81 on EO that I did within the past couple weeks, and I just, like, I'm really kind of reticent to go back. It's just, I don't know, like, that style of design is just very frustrating. I think I used to prefer Heaven on High over Palace of the Dead. And I played more of it, I think, really. Solo. Like, I got Warrior to 51 in there without really, like, well before I really had any friends who were, like, doing anything Deep Dungeon related. Hello, Respawn. And it wasn't too bad, but then I died on 51, like, immediately, because that's where the difficulty jumps there. And I think it was originally because, like, oh, you know, you get access to more of your kit at level 70 in Heaven on High. And it's only 100 floors, so, like, the difficulty scales up a little more, like, you know, quickly. And also Magicite exists, which really helps when you have crappier, like, Ether Pool. It really helps kind of get you started. If you just luck into a Magicite, then you can, you know, potentially get through a lot of stuff that would otherwise make your life very difficult. But I think I've a little bit kind of started to like Palace more. But that may just be because, like, Palace I've done kind of third of the three, as far as, like, once I started thinking, oh, let's actually try for these titles. Palace was the third one I've gotten around to. Whereas I started with Heaven on High on Warrior, which is not my best job. It's a job I'm okay at, but not my best. Certainly not my main. It's my main tank job, but I don't usually tank. That said, it is very nice for Heaven on High. Like, it's a great way to, like, start on content that is, you know, like, oh, the enemies will beat the shit out of you, and that will be difficult. What if you were just a tank, and you kind of always have steel at all times, effectively? Okay, I guess we're already done with the floor set. There was nothing there. You hate to see it. But yeah, I think probably it's because of the jobs that I've played. Like, Picto is just a very good job for this. It is so strong. It has a lot of tools to deal with. I mean, most of the tools it has to deal with stuff, it has a lot of tools, and all of them are damage. You just kill everything. So there's not really, like things that other jobs would really struggle with. You're just like, I'm just gonna kill it. Like, Ape? I might not need steel for an ape. What if I only had strength? And it's okay because I'm a pictomancer and it will just die before it deals like any real damage to me. But yeah, I agree. I think for obvious reasons, Necromancer is definitely still the most prestigious title. Like, just the fact that it's 200 floors, immediately, like, that is, like, I think a lot of people will call that sort of quote-unquote, like, artificial difficulty, and, like, I see where they're coming from with that, but it is a form of difficulty. You have to get through all these other floors, and then get all the way to 200 through the hard stuff. And Palace of the Dead doesn't have the only instant wipes that sorry, there are no instant wipes. The only floor wipes that it has are Rage, which requires you to manually walk around and kill things one by one, possibly hitting traps, possibly just getting murdered by them, and Resolution, which literally only works on like a fraction of the mobs. And then you also have access to Lust, which is like obscenely specific, and for a DPS is like just not as good as just kill the enemies yourself. So yeah, like Necromancer is definitely, like, for very good reason, the, you know, the pinnacle of the three. Alright. 61 to 70. This is still going to be really easy. I will not be getting to any floors that are especially difficult tonight, sadly. I will, however, be getting to another treasure room. That's fun. Should I just rage this for the hell of it? Like, it doesn't really matter. Like, I can fight through, like, I think 3 treasure rooms on a floor just manually. On a floor set, I mean. On a floor. That would be impressive. And not have a problem on time, so... What about necroplomacy? What about necroplomacy? What do you think about necroplomacy, Asper? Tell me. I would love to know. Witching. Serenity. Oh, this elf became a frog. And now he became dead. Poor thing. Another witching, sure. You're a chicken. I don't mean figuratively, like you're scared or anything. I mean you're literally a chicken. Ah, I got the fortune back immediately. Every single time. Always, always, always fortune in a treasure room. It is always fortune a rage, always fortune in a treasure room. It's never wrong. It is never, ever wrong. Oh, my first resolution. Okay, nice. Okay, I guess we're just getting bitten. That hurt a lot less than I expected, Lamea. I was like, oh no, I got hit by the critical bite, I might need to, like, heal myself. No, you fucking don't. So many purities, dude. Again, like, a mimic will not last long enough to, actually pox me. I don't need purities right now. I got another of the rare spots. Oh, I love it. We must protect the waking sins. I'm sorry, friend, but your duty is long, long over. What's stopping me from mobbing the map? Gonna be honest, I'm not entirely sure what that means. Please be in range to get hit by this. Oh my god, range is so annoying. I could affluence, but I don't really feel a need to. This is nasty. I don't want to deal with this. Okay, this way. Landmine. I wish for score it weren't bad to use the landmine. I would totally do it just for fun. I love landmine plays. They're just so fun. Oh, unfortunate. Speaking of landmines. Doesn't exist in FF14. What are you thinking of? Which game? Like Mystery Dungeon or? Oh, that's so funny. Oh, I think that's my 12th piece of the Accursed Horde discovered with no intuition. I think that was with no intuition. I didn't have one running, right? That's really funny. That's so uncommon. Baiting the entire map. Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, I could pull the entire map. Like, I could just run around the entire floor and pull everything simultaneously. It's not a good idea for me. I'm a caster. I am fairly squishy. It can get a little bit dicey. But depending on the situation, I could pull it off. But for the most part, I won't, mostly because I just don't need to. Part of the reason that, again, I mentioned earlier, like part of the reason I'm doing these early floors this way, because like there's like two kinds of obvious thing I can do to make the earlier floors kind of more interesting to play, even though they're so easy. One is to speedrun them, and then the other is to score run them. Speedrunning, though, is kind of a lot more tense because you have to, like, think a lot and make a lot of decisions about, like, oh, you know, like, is it worth, like, doing this, like, checking this extra room and checking these other chests that I don't necessarily need to get, and so on. And there's a lot of thinking involved in that, and what if I just didn't need to think, you know? And so the score run approach is everything must die, and that's very low thought required. And so by the same token, if I'm not really, like, you know, if I'm not bothering to, like, double pull or anything like that, if I'm just pulling one enemy at a time and just smacking it with paint until it dies, that's super, super comfy and does not, you know, really strain me at all. Which is nice, because, like, otherwise this gets horrendous. Like, my current level of progression in the dungeon is I'm attempting floors 191 to 200, so I'm on the last set. But when you die that deep in the dungeon, you gotta play from floor 1 again in order to have another shot at the title. You cannot continue a file where you have died. So, or at least you cannot continue a file at that depth of the palace where you have died. At the earlier floors, like before 51, you can continue no matter how many times you died. I just clicked off the healing potency buff, Lamea. I'm glad I didn't click off the damage buff, at least. But yeah, I've had to do floors 1 to like all the way up to 180 to get to the parts I'm progging. This is the 5th time in the last like several weeks. And it's a lot. Each floor set being on the... Okay, I'm not taking that one because I have a buff. Again, the buff is worth 500 points when I leave the floor. The Serenity, checking that chest, is only worth 100 points. But yeah, each floor set, on average, is somewhere around 35 to 40 minutes. Like, if you average across all of the floor sets, from 1 all the way up. They get longer as you go. If you were here at the beginning, you might have seen that, like, the very first ones took me, like, 17 minutes or whatever. But then they very rapidly grew longer, and then they were still only taking me about 30 minutes because I was going for the speedrun goals. But then now they're taking... sorry, these are going to continue taking only about 30 minutes. Once I get past 100, they're going to start taking more like 40 to 45 and up. So, over time it adds up. I should like go pull up my... I've uploaded like a shitload of these on YouTube. And they're like... I'm having them publish 1 a day. So they're queued up all the way through like August at this point. Of my 4-ish run attempts. Fortune. And I could just like add up the amounts, the lengths of each video if I wanted to find out like, oh, how actually long is this? But the answer is long. It's hours and hours to get back to be able to attempt the end of the dungeon again. I'm actually not that ahead on time, so... Try to keep the pace. I literally immediately got the affluence back. Love that one. Alright, so this is another floor with a buff, which means I will not use Serenity if I find one. I love the accidental luring trap. That's fantastic. Luring traps on this floor set, a luring trap is worth approximately 400 points. It costs you 200 for stepping on the trap, but then the kills get you approximately 200 each. I am in love. Thank you, game. You're so kind. I didn't even have to use the site to find these. The game is just handing it to me. A rage. Very funny. Very funny. This floor was obscenely fast. Do not hit sprint until after you collect the rage. Also check this other chest, which could require you to transform. Okay, but it's a purity instant. That's a fortune. That's not a purity. Fortunately, it's not a huge deal. Oh look, an enemy to kill. Maybe it will give me something from the fortune. It didn't. Oh well. That would have been very funny though if it did. The fortune that I mistakenly used there. No respawn there. Okay. Altar, nice. Where are you coming from? Okay, so you came from this room. Right here. This is a dead end. Awesome. Hello. You were in the wall. You survived with a sliver of health. I hate that. Safety. Exit. This is a small floor. That looks like it's only 4 rooms. No, there's a 5th one. This is safety. I can just dance around. I started just dancing around the room and I was like, oh my god, what am I doing? There could be a trap. And it's like, no. No, friend. There can't be. You just used the safety. It was like not 30 seconds ago. In my defense, though, it isn't possible to remember things that you have done after you've done them. Have I gotten pot shirts? I've gotten 3. Okay, that's not bad. I've used, like, I don't know, several potions. Not a whole lot, so it's not a big deal. Actually, it turns out one of the biggest barriers to, like, being able to do deep dungeons solo is that you, basically on any job, you need these potions. Each one of the deep dungeons has one of these. It's called a sustaining potion here. And you can only get it. The literal only way to get sustaining potions is that you get an item from the deep dungeon itself called a potsherd. And you take it to a trader outside the dungeon and you exchange it for 1 potsherd becomes 20 potions. The thing is, potsherds are not very common. I have done floor 1 through 67 and I've gotten a total of 3. And you can easily go through a lot of those potions. The potion just grants you like a health regen effect that lasts for 30 seconds. And it has a 15-second cooldown. And if you're wondering why the cooldown is shorter than the duration, partially historical reasons, but also sometimes it's useful to be able to like refresh it early. To be able to make sure that it will be up for 30 seconds. Such as when you transform into something. But yeah, you need a lot of these potions, and getting them is not easy if you don't have access to like do more of the dungeon. Oh, this is a no sprint floor. I hate it. I hate it a lot. What did I get here? A lust. This is safety. It is okay to just run around here. Alright, we have gone from being okay on time to being very good on time. Again, the goal is to finish 10 floors in under 30 minutes. So, you know, obviously about 3 minutes per floor. So I'm on 67. There are 3 floors to go. I have way more than 9 minutes remaining, so. No other respawns or anything. I have a debuff of some sort. What is it? No knockback. Okay. So I can't use a rage on this floor. Hell yeah! Free luring trap. Let's go. 2 Crocs and a Diplo. That should be fun. If I have a steel running, it should be more than fun. Hello. Friend, are you okay? I don't know why I sprinted there. God damn it. Alright, well, we'll check for respawns since I accidentally used sprint. Kind of a time-wasting manner. No respawn. Dang. Ah, let's go. Made it worthwhile. You better not have dropped it. You didn't. Okay, cool. And lost. Alright, one more floor and then the boss. God, this is 70? Which boss? It's the big serpent thing, right? Easy boss? I mean, they're all easy for a while. This is a treasure room. That is hilarious. I was literally about to say, I think the only thing that might make me slightly concerned about time is if I get a treasure room right here. But I think even this won't. I think I'm just fine. Because pictomancer. Let's get at least all of you together. I should have fortuned. It was the treasure room, man. Always fortune the treasure room. Come on. What did I just say earlier? Oh, I respawned right here. How convenient. Oh, actually, no, that's a patrol. He was probably just walking around. Okay, now we're safe. Technically not safe from that, though. I am full on resers. Okay, surprising. Usually not that quick. Okay. Very funny. The rage right after the treasure room. Love it. Thank you for spawning right here, so I didn't have to like go back into the previous room. Oh, I actually have to burn this now. Okay. Cool. Boss time. The strength and steel should last, so. This is a very not. Most of the bosses in this dungeon are not very complicated, which is nice. Like I don't need them to be super complicated for me to find the content compelling. Like I think the design space is a little more interesting when when the floors are kind of the focus of your attention. Although I think like EO bosses also are like good the way they are. Like I think it's good that there is a little more meat to them. More just, I don't think that that Palace or Heaven on High really suffer from having simpler mechanics. Okay, for 71 to 80, we're still fine dumping the flight and the intuition. Okay, on to the 70s. Enemies are getting like very slightly beefier, but still will mostly die to like 2 to 3 hits of my stuff because pictomancers are just very funny. That is a rage. Sight. Fortune. Rage. That's a landmine. I wanted that to... Oh, and it's a 3-room. Fuck you, game. I was hoping for a luring trap. You hate to see it. I should have known though, on the first floor, or first room of a floor, like... Oh God, a first floor of a floor set. There we go, where it's... You don't get big floors. At least not on these sets. Alright, well I got a strength back, I got an affluence. That's fun. Blinded. Hate it. Fire in red. Miss. Great. Got my side back. Love it. Is that another treasure room? It sure is. Come here. Alright, wolves are assholes. They leech your health because they fucking suck. Nice miss. I'm just kidding, it wasn't nice. I don't like it at all. God, just die. I beg you to not miss. Excuse me, would you mind coming over here real quick? Oh, I was hoping to explode that silver chest in his face, but alas. The most lazily laid plans. I didn't collect the... What? Oh. Yeah, okay, I see. That was erasing. This is not the entry room. I should not be just running anywhere I want. 2 respawns already. Oh, this thing's gonna fucking... Yeah, it almost did Flying Frenzy. Funny. Okay, get me out of here. Alright, 2 floors down. About 4.5 minutes. Very good pace. And that's with a treasure room already. So this is an annoying floor layout because I can't easily tell which of the paths out of the entrance room is the shorter path. And so I have to kind of just guess. And I guessed correctly, which is good. The idea is I want to explore whatever path goes away from the exit first, so that I can end up checking every room and killing all the enemies without having to take a super inefficient route. Running back and forth from one end of a floor to the other is pretty slow, actually. So I don't want to do that as much as possible. Also, I have 3 of a lot of palms. I should consider burning some of them. Like, I could use the site here if I really wanted. In fact, actually, I should very much use the site here. Okay, no. How does this go? I think the luring traps are more common on the later floors of the set. I'm gonna go check anyway, though. Cool. Free raising. Love it. Yeah, that's a landmine. That's not a luring trap. Okay. Impeding trap. That's an impeding trap. Alright. That wasn't too bad, though. That didn't cost me a lot of time because I had sprint available. That trap just inside the room, man, that is an obnoxious trap location. I've hit that so many times. Yeah, that's a landmine as well, okay. Oh, there was a domo in the wall. A wall mole. That's does not roll off the tongue. I heard no debuff noises. Cool. Love it. Okay, I'm setting this one too, because, yeah, fuck this noise. Nope, that's the exit. Apes! These ones are very unthreatening. Please open the coffer. So it's 2 enervation traps I've seen. Oh, hello. I was paranoid about enemies sneaking past me. Oh. Another innovation trap. This room doesn't even get a trap. This room's not cool enough for a trap. Okay, got a side back. Nice. That's blind or... Oh, it's no abilities. I hate it. Oh, look at all these Cyclopses, jeez. Well, whatever. I still do, like, ass loads of damage, even with no abilities on these floors, so... On later floors, as a pictomancer, no abilities is miserable. It's a lot less miserable than it used to be because your base attacks that you can use under the no abilities got buffed a shitload in the latest patch. So that's nice. But it is still horrendous. You just lose a huge amount of damage. And you lose your gap closer move. And you lose your shield. This is not sighted or safety. I don't know what I'm doing, just casually walking into the middle of the fucking room like that. Oh, that's actually horrendous. Alright, well, I guess I'll just stand here for fucking 22 more seconds. 20 more seconds. Oh, cool. Good. Yes, excellent. Spawn right there. Alright, he didn't aggro me at least. Go away. Come back when I have spells to cast on you. Alright, this will be the slowest floor of the bunch, and it's really not a huge deal because I'm still 2 minutes ahead of schedule for clearing the 5th floor, so as long as it doesn't take like a huge amount more time, it'll be alright. And like, I'm mostly done with this floor, so. there were a lot of Cyclopses on this floor. Cyclopses are patrols here, so they start in some room and then they just fucking leave that room and go wherever they want. Okay. 76 plus. I think these are the floors where I should think about sighting to try to find luring traps. This is gloom. Okay, exciting. I heard an ape. There's an ape here somewhere. Oh god, you just buffed. Let's get the Dalmal while the buffs fall off. Obnoxious. Come here. What? Why? Whatever, you get deleted. This would have been a floor to sight. We're sighting. We're turning around. Because that's the exit. Yeah, that would have been a floor to sight. I had a feeling. Ow. I had a feeling. That's a landmine. Alright, I want to go back and check the room that I didn't sight before earlier and just see if there's a luring trap in it. There's not any trap in it. Cool. Sounds good. This doesn't have a trap either. Shocking. This has a frog trap. Great. There's the Sasquatch. Okay, 4 floors to go. How are we on time? I'm actually a little behind. Okay. Be careful here on my time. That's another Sasquatch. Okay, well that just caught us back up on all the time, Lamea. That took like a minute and a half. Very funny. 2 floors left, and then the boss. Steal, and then I'll just... I mean, if it's gonna keep giving me sights, I'll just keep sighting. Unfortunately, it feels like I'm more capable of finding luring traps literally by accident, just stepping on them sight unseen, rather than by using the sight pomander that is intended to help with that sort of thing. So, very funny. Ah, there's one. Okay. Awesome. One floor to go. I did not mean to press Swiftcast. I meant to press Smudge. Very different buttons, those. Got another one. Nice. Hello, Bird of the Palace. Come back. You're mine. We're friends now. And just like my other friends, I discard you when your time is done. I mean, what? Oh, re-steal for this boss. He doesn't really hurt that much. This boss is a very funny version of the much spookier floor 180 variant. This guy is so lazy. He's not doing any attacks. Like, brother, at least try to win the fight. Jeez. Goodbye. Okay, that's 80 floors. I had been not totally sure whether I was going to try to go all the way to 100, but let's try it. I would probably be awake until 6 anyway, so let's just keep going. Ugh. Ah. Altar. Sure, points are good. I like points. I can still kill a mimic fairly quickly, so it's not a huge deal. Okay, this is the exit. I don't really need to check anything about it. I know it's the exit. There might be some number of rooms past it, but that fact doesn't really bear on whether I go there later or not. Sure, I can rage. This one room. Fair enough. Oh no, a toading trap. Fortunately, when you're transformed, you can't be toaded, but unfortunately, that still costs you the 200 points, so that is the equivalent of an enemy kill. Respawn. Thought I heard the sound of like a Wimura compa, but I guess that was just a bomb noise. Another alteration, sure. We'll double alter the next floor because that's a real thing that actually does anything. debuff of some sort. HP down. Okay, sure. That's unfortunate. And our side. Mandragoras. Steel raising strength. Love to be getting free raisings on 80. That's always fun. That's a lot of strength, jeez. Again, on just one floor. Ugh. I don't remember if it's literally nothing, but almost nothing on this floor is undead, so resolution does basically nothing. There might be some undead enemy I'm not remembering immediately. I don't remember most of the enemies on these floor sets until I actually see them in front of my face and I'm like, oh yeah, this one. I guess we're altering again. We are doing very good on time, so I'll go ahead and kill this one extra guy. That's okay, that's only one flight. This floor is altered again. So I want to find where my mimics and or Korrigans are. Well, not and or necessarily, you only get one. Flame dragons. They have an obscenely high amount of HP for no goddamn reason. And now they're dead. Very glad I got to finally do that. I had been trying to explode an enemy with a silver coffer like this entire time. None of you dropped a oh, that's so mean. I even used the fortune and none of you dropped one. You suck. Oh, debuff noise. Damage down, okay. I don't care. I will finish the other guy when I come back, since that's the exit room. We've hit this annoying threshold where things barely don't die to 3 attacks. But only just barely. So it's like, come on, couldn't there be some sort of damage range there maybe? But no, there isn't. I'm like 10% of their HP off. Two respawns up there, good lord. I'm still extremely ahead on time, so nothing's stopping me from going to get those before I leave. Oh, no, I'm sorry, there's not 2 respawns, there's 1 respawn. This is the exit room. I left one thing alive. The claw is the respawn. Just forgetting myself for a minute. Alter. Just keep on altering. I don't need to affluence. So I need to think of, I heard debuffs. I need to think about 91 and how I'm handling that floor set. I very often have trouble making the time check at the end. I have to like rush the last couple floors. Whereas on this set, like, look how I'm doing on time. Like, everything is easy. Funny. The Deep Dungeon Classic, 2 strengths literally adjacent to one another. What was this? Did I just miss this? Yeah, I did just miss this. Hi, Mimics. And a worm respawn. Let's get you out of the way. I don't want you interfering when I face these mimics. I only got 2? Oh, that's sad. Is there one hiding somewhere? No? Okay. That's so unfortunate. 2 is the minimum number you can roll, so... And like each mimic is worth significantly more points than a regular kill, so you really, really want to see as many as possible. If you get super lucky, you get a treasure room that is literally only mimics. And that gives you a shitload of points. I actually got one of those in my last run. On floor like 130 something, I think. At that floor, it's a lot harder for me to just obliterate a mimic, so I had to like rage it, but it was very funny. I think that's a dead end room. I'm not sure. These rooms look fucking identical. They look exactly the same. No, I'm not sighting. I want to sight, but no. Yeah, these rooms look literally identical. There's another room that way too. So there's another room in each direction. This is the return. I didn't paint, idiot. Save sprint. If this is the passage room, then I can use sprint to run back as fast as possible. Here's the Chimera. I would like to kill him before sprint runs out, so I still get jog. Fortunately, that's not hard. Extra raising. Clearly the game is trying to tell me I should have died somewhere so that I could take advantage of this extra raising. Note, dying costs points. Do not die. I'm still well ahead on time, so that's good. Okay. Sticking with what I have. This is the exit room. I can see the orb just behind this Chimera. Yeah, you can see it too. It's that orb right there. Oh, there's... Hi. Hello. Enemies hiding in the literal walls. Very fun. God, please be in range. I did not even remember that those sandworms had a breath attack. I honestly had no recollection what any of their attacks were. Other than just, you know, punching you with their face or whatever. Nope. Goodbye, Sprint. A lot of enemies in this area aggro on sound, so most of the enemies in the game and in this dungeon aggro on sight. If they see you walk in front of them or whatever, then they'll aggro on you. But a bunch of enemies here will aggro on sound, and that means if you are running near them, even if they're looking away, they'll catch you. But if you toggle RP walk, there's an RP walk toggle in this game, then you can avoid detection. Okay, so this is altered. I have 9.5 minutes left for 2 floors. Hey, what's up, Cass? Thanks for the raid. That's a mimic, and my strength is wearing off. That's not great. You still die, right? Yeah, you still die. Okay, cool. Let's get the strength back on, shall we? I can leave this field off. Rage. Sure. Yes, thank you, Cass. I will enjoy my Final Fantasy XIV - Palace of the Dead PCT solo, parentheses 1 to 50, etc. stream. Thank you. on Twitch television or whatever. Thanks for the raid. I honestly did not expect you would still have been going at this time. Like, what the fuck? This is not amazing. Please die faster. Okay. Alright, we're okay. Welcome in. So I'm doing Palace of the Dead. This is a, like, rogue-like-ish kind of dungeon that is a bit of side content in Final Fantasy XIV, which is an MMO. That's annoying, but not a huge deal. It's very much based on, like, mystery dungeon style games, things like that, right? Not so much like Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, but like Shiren Mystery Dungeon, that one. Don't want to open that until I have actually gotten over the trap thing that I just hit. Basically, in this dungeon, there's 200 floors of bullshit that you have to find your way through. Most people do this content as like a party. They get together with their friends and they come in there and there's like 4 of them and it's cool. I'm doing this solo because I'm an idiot, and there's a title associated with it that is very difficult to get because the content is very difficult to do. So I'm currently doing that. I have gotten, this is 200 floors, I have gotten as far as floor 199. and then unfortunately died. Although the mistakes that killed that run were well before floor 199. Okay, cool. So I have 6.5 minutes for the boss. But yeah, if I want to get the title and the prestige, I have to start from floor 1. So that is what we are doing currently. This boss actually hurts a little bit, so I'll go ahead and put the steel on. And now I'll spray fire at you. So I'm just finishing up floors 81 to 90. Most of the first 150 floors are not all that bad. So that kind of means you're spending 150 floors worth of playtime, each of which you get an entire 1 hour lockout to complete. Sometimes you need the entire hour. I won't be. But sometimes you do. And so it's a lot of hours. It takes a long time to get back to floor, like 100 or 200, I mean. But that's the thing. Like, that's why there is the prestige associated with it. Because it is a very, very difficult thing to do, and it requires a lot of skill and patience, both. I am playing one of the better, like stronger, more well-equipped jobs for this, Pictomancer. If you are familiar with Final Fantasy VI, this is Realm, the character in that game, is a painter, and so this class is sort of themed in that way. Although it's very different than anything that Realm did in Final Fantasy VI. I forgot that there's a mechanic to do here. Excuse me. Go over that way. Okay, cool. We didn't die. But yeah, I paint things at my enemies, and they take a shitload of damage. This class is a really interesting design where you have these casts that you like paint a thing that you are then prepared to use later. And if you're able to read a Final Fantasy XIV tooltip, it says here that this thing takes 4 seconds to cast. Well, technically 3, but you can't cast anything for a total of 4 seconds. Hold on while I dump some items now that we've finished this floor set. And during that time that you're painting the thing, you are dealing 0 damage. Literally 0. The painting does no damage. So the balance is then that, like, compared to other classes where usually, like, all the time, all of their JCDs, their global cooldowns, are being spent dealing damage. But for Pictomancer, you're spending huge amounts of time not dealing damage, so they balance it by having your other buttons deal a shitload of damage, so that overall, your damage is, comparable. If you are painting in combat. If you're not painting in combat because, you just kill something, like you're fighting regular, like, trash enemies, and you just kill the enemy and then start moving on, they give you the convenience of having your paint cast be instant, so you can just instantly get your paint spells back up. And then they still deal a shitload of damage. So in a context like this, where you are, fighting these enemies that die rather quickly, and then you're spending a lot of time out of combat, Pictomancer's very strong. And so it's a very, very good job to have in content like this. That said, Pictomancer's a caster. It doesn't have a lot of defenses. Everything kind of tends to beat the shit out of you. So, it's kind of a glass cannon type deal. But, it kind of doesn't matter if you're made of glass, if the cannon part blows up the enemy before the enemy actually reaches you, So that's mostly the playstyle here, is that you just beat the shit out of the thing and it doesn't even get to deal damage to you, and then you move on with your life. God, I have forgotten how buttons work. But yeah, everything at this point in the dungeon, though, is just not scary, really, for any job. I guess it might be a little scary if you're like a healer, just because you take a billion years to kill anything, so it's like... But you can just heal, so it doesn't matter, like nothing. There's just nothing scary at this point, really. So, because everything is kind of pretty easy at this point, I've been treating my low floor sets as a score run. So Deep Dungeon actually has scoring, where they assign you points for doing various things. The big key ones are every enemy you kill gives you points. Every chest you open gives you points. If you fully explore the map of a given floor, you earn points for that. If you have floor effects on you when you leave the floor, so like sometimes the floor will have an enchantment on it that either buffs or debuffs you in a certain way, and if you leave the floor with those still active, there's a way to remove them. If you leave the floor with those still active, you get some bonus points. So you will see me a lot of the time run up to a chest, open it, and it will have an item that I already have the maximum amount of, so I can't carry it, so I will just like burn an extra item so that I can then get that thing. There's a lot of that. I just heard the noise of debuffs. Ooh, okay, so this is spicy. This is no items and HP down. This is 1,000 bonus points if I leave the floor with both of these debuffs on. However, no items means if I open a chest and it contains a thing that I already have the maximum number of, I can't actually get that chest, which means I don't get the points for that chest. But because there's 2 debuffs, I would have to find 10 chests in order for it to be worthwhile for me to remove those debuffs, because I need 1,000 points worth of chests, and each chest is worth 100. So most likely I am just going to be skipping every chest on this floor. I don't even, it's really not even possible for there to be enough chests for me to actually want to use a Serenity to remove the debuffs and open them. But I do still want to reveal the entire map, as always. What was that chest? That chest was a Rage. So a Rage would have been nice. A Rage turns me into a big Manticore, and I can one-shot every enemy I run across, but oh well. But otherwise, yeah, I'm just... The entire game plan is just literally kill every single enemy that I see. Every single one of them. Let no enemy survive. Which is nice. It's very brain off. I don't have to think too much about, like, oh, you know, should I, like, skip some enemies for speed? Like, no. No, you shouldn't. There is also a bonus to points for clearing the entire 10-floor set, so I'm on 91 to 100. If I clear all the way to floor 100 in 30 minutes or less, I get a point bonus. So I'm trying for that on all of floors 1 to 100. And it's not too bad. It does get a little spicy on this floor set. This is the one where it's actually a little difficult to get within 30 minutes, while also killing every single enemy. But I don't mind dropping a few enemies to be able to get the time. The time bonus is very large. It's worth like 75 enemies or something like that. So there's no world where it is worthwhile for me to kill more enemies and lose the time bonus. Sorry for the camera angles there. Camera in this game is impossible. Okay, I actually was able to open one chest, which is really nice because I didn't have the max number of a given item. Okay, so I'm still ahead of Piss. We're trying to clear the floor set in 30 minutes. I think I heard another debuff. We're trying to clear the floor set in 30 minutes. There's 10 floors. So on average, obviously, I need to clear about 1 floor every 3 minutes. And we're still ahead of that pace a little bit. So that's good. Despite the no items there. No items doesn't really slow me down that much. It's no abilities that would really screw me. Okay, so that's a Serenity, so that's the thing that would remove the debuff from this floor. Again, that debuff is worth 500 points, so unless there's like 5 Serenities on this floor, I'm not going to bother using it. Oh, you are right here. I missed you. I'm glad to know both of you have dabbled in I think I already knew, Cass, that you had dabbled in this game very sparingly. I did not know that you had rewards. Of course, everyone has, right? You know, it's the MMO with the free trial up to level 70, including the award-winning expansion Heavensward, and the slightly fewer award-winning expansion Stormblood. I say this with love. I actually really like Stormblood, but I recognize that it is not the most loved of the expansions. It definitely has that danger. Like, there was a time where I was able to treat it as just a story game, and that was good. But it's hard to keep that up because of, like, just look around every corner and there's some other bullshit content you could be doing, and a lot of it is fun, and then some of it just kind of is there, but a lot of it is fun. Okay, I want to re-strength, but I can't actually because I only have 1. So that's not great. I just used an alteration, which changes some enemies on the next floor to enemies that are much more likely to drop chests. So I will also Affluence, which increases the number of chests on that floor. And then I will also use a Fortune on that floor to try to get, this was the Serenity, right? Yeah, it is. Okay, I'm not even done on this floor. Okay, so we are close to exactly on time pace here. Okay. Alright, I do have a steal, so I can re-steal if I need to. Rewards, all the duties should be doable via the AI support, the duty support system. Okay, so this is Gloom, so that's a little spicy if I get mimics or whatever. I'm gonna sight so I don't accidentally hit a trap somewhere. And then we're going north. Oh, for the 8-player stuff. Yeah, the 8-player stuff. You're correct. Yeah. This is a luring trap. This will draw 3 enemies to my location, and I want those enemies. I sure didn't want a course though. But it's alright. This guy was obnoxious. I would really like to be running a strength. I'm going to run the strength. This is... Oh, God, Gloom sucked so bad, dude. I'm going to sit on that safety for a minute. I will use it, because I want to pick up every chest, but I will not use it immediately. Ow. Yeah, it definitely is a lot easier to find groups for stuff like the Crystal Tower because people are just always doing, they're always leveling some job, and so they'll queue into their Alliance Roulette, and that'll just pop Crystal Tower practically all the time because they're on, like, it'll pop something that is available to whatever the level they are, and often they're leveling a job that can't access the other Alliance raids. So it works out for people trying to do that for the first time. This was a safety. I guess fine, we'll just use it right now because I'm not coming back to this side of the map. Okay, here's this guy. Okay, we are definitely hemorrhaging a small amount of time here. Depending on what the altered room gives us, this could be really nice or really horrendous. I would like for you to come over here, please. Oh, another course. Hello. Great. What if we kill you? I hate dealing like exactly all the... Okay, there we go. God. And you interrupted me? Hilarious. I said I was going to re-up the steal. I should have re-upped the steal. Yeah, I don't even remember what this music is from in terms of in the game. It's obviously FF14 music, because that's what they have on the playlist for the Deep Dungeons. But I just don't actually know what it's from, what context. Okay, what did we get? Where's it? It's Gorgons is the word I wanted. Hell yeah, that's perfect. So that is, they're very easy to kill, and that then makes this kind of stops the time hemorrhaging that I was having. Resolution, affluence, purity, okay. Okay. And we're off this floor. Cheers, rewards, thanks. Enjoy your grocery and dinner run. Wait, dinner? Oh, yeah, God, I'm already noticing what time it is, Jesus. And how that translates to Euro time. That looks like it might be a dead end, so we go that way first. Except I kill this idiot while he's here. Ow. This is not a dead end, and it's the exit. Cool, so I found the exit, which means I can move on and go the other direction, because you always want to go to the exit last. I would love to use this extra rage that I just got to actually just kill enemies, but unfortunately it is so far from everything else. I'd have to run all the way back to it after clearing the rest of the floor, so we're not doing that. I think I might make a different decision about that if I were a class that killed the enemies more slowly, but because I am not, it kind of seems obviously worthwhile to favor just killing them normally. Oh, it hit. Oh, it hit him. Yeah, let's go. Oh, it hit you too. That's awesome. Hell yeah. Look at all these enemies properly lined up facing the same direction. I love it. It's very funny when they do that. Okay, so this floor saved some time back, which is nice. Still a little behind, but not as behind as I was. Soon I will start having rooms where I'll start having floors where many of the enemies are undead, and I can start using resolution finally, which will one-shot any undead enemy on this floor set. It doesn't always one-shot any undead enemy, it's just on this floor, because of how much HP things have, it will. Okay, I have a flight if I need to use it. That's nice. It's actually really important that I'm going to be able to do that because I am losing my strength buff shortly. That is accounting for a 30% damage increase compared to my base amount of damage, which is a lot. Doesn't require a huge leap of logic to know that this is going to slow me down a lot. I think this is an opportunity to reso. This didn't die. That's so funny. I had no idea there was even a possible damage range there. Okay, well you smell funny, so you gotta die. This is not great, these extras. Speed-wise. Time is still looking a little dicey. I've only got 3 floors to go and then a boss. The boss takes a decent amount of time, so I gotta be pretty quick. I gotta go actually look up what the amount of time was that it took. A bonus steal, great. That's really not the thing that I wanted, though. I do appreciate the thought game, but I would appreciate a different thought slightly more. Let me pull this up. Okay, a buff, very nice. Let's just cite this. Okay. It's actually just rage. This time. what's it called? Fucking altered it. I will be coming back. No, I won't. This is dumb. This is dumb. Just fucking go the other way. I will not even clear the floor with this, so that's sad. Okay, I will have to clear several more enemies down there, but this is still helping. I'm on sprint. Don't use that lust yet. Use it later. Do use smudge. There's a strength. Okay, very important. Really, really, really needed that. I think we will still be rather hard-pressed on the remaining floors. What was the time? 2 minutes, 30 seconds with strength and 2 lust. That's a luring trap. I don't have time. I need 3 minutes, and I need to get through 2 floors. We're flighting. Okay. Now I just have to run. So I'm going to be giving up some points here, which is, like, not the worst thing in the world. Something that I can do here is resolution. Oh, this idiot's going to be on me for a second. It should only take somewhere between 2 to 5 kills to get out, so like this room should do it. There it is. Okay, grab. Intuition, super helpful. Thanks. Oh, good. Forgot that I didn't do anything to it. Oh, I forgot to flight. God damn it. Alright. That's fine. We might be raging this then. Because I gotta get out of here very, very quickly. Okay, this is small floor. Out. I've got the floor map, so I get the points for that. I should have done something to be able to get the floor map on the previous floor, because that would have gotten me points, but it's not a huge deal. Okay, so what did we end up with? How many resolutions? Do I have 2 or do I have 1? 3. Okay, easy. Easy life. So this boss is going to spawn some ads. Right about now. So I will lust so that I can spew fire at them. If you don't use a resolution on these ads, they will die, but then they will just keep getting back up periodically. So that's annoying, but I don't really need to use one on them immediately. I will just fuck around and find out. Okay, he is summoning more ads. Power resolution. Okay, so that's it for those ads. There's gonna be one more round of those soon. Okay. Go ahead and just bust real quick to refresh this buff. Just make sure there's no time issues. Alright, so this is the final round of ads. They're now dead. And I just have to finish the boss. Yeah, time looks totally fine, so that was not a huge problem. Would have liked to have been a little less tight. I gotta work on that specific set. It's pretty difficult, that specific set of floors, 91 to 100, to get to the end in time, and then while killing every single enemy. I think I need to do more AoE pulls and things like that. I also had really unfortunate luck, and I had a bunch of time where I didn't have a strength up, and that costs a lot as a pictomancer, because you are relying so much on your damage. Alright, cool. But we have cleared 100 floors of Palace of the Dead. That is quote-unquote half, not actually half. From now on, you don't want to get the speedrun time goal for points if you're playing for points. From now on, you want to just kill everything, because enemies past floor 100 give you bonus points compared to enemies before floor 100, and you cannot feasibly full clear the set, full clear every enemy on every floor, while also getting the speedrun achievement. You would have to sacrifice too many kills. The speedrun thing is approximately worth 50 kills, and there's no way that you're getting the speedrun time goal while only giving up 50 kills. So you just full clear the set. But yeah, that's 1 to 100. When I leave this duty, it will give me a score readout, and we'll find out how we're doing on score. Ideally, I'm somewhere around 1.5 million. Okay, that's great. This is my highest one yet at floor 100, so that's really good. Also, that none of that matters. I don't like. I'm not even actually. Overall, my overall goal is not score. I don't care about the score in the long run, but it is fun to mess around with.